Eastern on TNT.
I trade my salary for just to get $1 every time I'm going to see that between now and the end of the playoffs.
Shut up. The Indiana Pacers have overachieved this season. Their all-star Victor Oladipo played just 36 games before a right quad tendon injury put him on the shelf for the season. Still, they not only made the playoffs, but just missed out on having home court in the first round with the Celtics, where through 2 games, they can point to 2 quarters where this group of overachievers underachieved. The third quarter of Game 1 and the fourth quarter of Game 2. We go to TD Garden for the highlights of this one, as Kyrie Irving would have himself a big night and a better night for Bojan Bogdanovic than he had in the opener.
Oh, look up. Oh, you got to get one and one. You got to foul him harder.
Man, I've been kissed harder than that.
Yeah. Tyreek Evans launching from deep. And then Aaron Holiday going to go coast to coast.
Tell you what, man, you got to take all your hat off to the Pacers. They play hard every night. Great job at Nate McMillan.
Stop on the dime, knockdown.
Man. And then Thaddeus Young gets the steal.
Thaddeus.
Boy, he's fun to watch, isn't he? Just a magician.
Say what, nice shout out to Brad Stevens for moving into the 2 in the second half. That was a big difference.
52-50 game at the half. Indiana dominated the third quarter. That's where they only had the 8-point quarter the other night.
Ooh, good move, youngin.
Darren Collison ain't young.
There he is.
Bogdanovic for 3. There's the young Darren Collison again.
Young man.
3.
About 32. 32, 33.
Miles Turner inside. So they outscored him 29-16 in the third quarter. In the fourth, they led by 12.
This is when the game changed right here. Actually, Kyrie was not in the game. Terry Rozier came in and gave him a great lift. Jason Tatum went crazy.
And then
that's when they made their run, and Kyrie came in and finished them off.
Yep, Kyrie comes on with about 7 minutes to go in the game and does his thing en route to a 37-point night. Meantime, Indiana was enduring a drought of nearly 8 minutes without a point.
7:54 to be exact.
That's nearly 8 minutes. Finally, they break the drought. Wesley Matthews connects. Bogdanovic also.
Then all of a sudden, you're like, it's right there. They're right there.
Yep. And when Bogdanovic does it again, they're up 91-89. They had 4 field goals.
This to me right here was a big play. They were up
all
2.
3.
They were up 2 then. That was not a good shot, but they were up 2. That could have did some damage.
Good pass. Block and Tatum.
Leave it.
They've got the lead and would not lose the lead.
Don't settle. Find the open man. Find the layup.
They outscored them 10-0 in the last minute of the game.
I don't know what the hell this was.
This was they would like a mulligan on that inbounds. 94-91, and then they don't foul until then. As Tatum with a 3-point play, and the Boston Celtics with a Game 2 win, 99-91. They've beaten the Pacers 5 straight times in 10 of the last 13. And after not winning a game all season long when they scored under 100 points, they've scored under 100 in both of the first 2 and won them both. 99-91 is the final tonight. Let's hear from, let's start with Brad Stevens.
Kyrie was incredible in coming back, and when he gets on a run like that, he's going to draw even more attention than he already draws, which is as much as anybody draws in the league. And so in the last couple minutes of the game, he just made the right play.
They put the ball in that guy's hands, and he makes things happen. He made some tough shots, and I think that was pretty much the ending factor for us. He was making shots, and they were playing defense, and we weren't able to make shots.
The object of the game was to outscore the other team, and I was trying to put as many points on the board as I could. We didn't start off as well as we would have liked, but that happens sometimes, and got to be able to weather the storm, and I think we did a great job of that tonight.
Every game's its own entity. You don't think about how good you played or how lucky you were or anything else. You try to get it done. You move on to what's next and play the next possession, and it's hard. We have to be ready for what's coming in Game 3.
So you look at these 2 decisive quarters, the third quarter in Game 1 when they scored 8 points, outscored by 18, and the fourth quarter outscored by 19, and they had that that drought of, as you point out, 754. And that's not just without a field goal, that's without a point. So they only shot 2 free throws in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, it just got bad and then got worse. And the Celtics, as you point out, with Rozier at first and then with Kyrie to finish him off.
It was very simple. Kenny talked about it earlier. The difference between, like I said earlier, all NBA players can play. But what separates the good teams, an all-star and a superstar, those are 2 different things. They without their all-star. And an all-star is the guy who said, hey, here's the ball. Get me a shot or get somebody else a shot. And without Oladipo, they don't have that guy. They get, like, hey, Kyrie, hey, get me a basket or get me somebody else an open shot. That was the difference in the game. And, like, what people don't understand, if you actually look at, and Kenny talks about this all the time, if you beat a team by 4 points a quarter, it looked like you blew them out because you beat them by 16. But most NBA games go down to the last 5 minutes when it's against the elite teams.
And when it came down to crunch time tonight, game on the line, Indiana just shooting themselves in the foot left and right.
Yeah, even though they don't have Victor Oladipo, they still have plenty of chances to win. No silly turnovers, ill-advised shots. You need a better shot right there, especially if you go 754 and you don't score. You got to put your head down, get to the hole, pops to get fired. This right here was a missed play, posed a backswing, but he didn't get it done. And this right here, hand it to the guy's not ready. Usually in that situation, they are giving it to a Victor Oladipo, but he's not out there. We can't harp on the fact that he's not there. Everybody else has to play. I'm going to need more out of Miles Turner. 8 points, not good enough for him. And I'm going to need better shots from Wesley Matthews. He knows better. He's a veteran, 2 for 8. You can't take ill-advised shots. Because you guys are making some great points, but they still had ample chances to win the game.
Yeah, you got ample chances.
But it's still
it's not the same because there's difference. Okay, when Kobe Bryant wasn't there, who would be the guy for you on the perimeter that you guys would go to? It's different between running a play and making a play. Like, I could run a play, and I can run it, and the point guard passes over the 2, the 4-man goes over and sets a screen and comes in. Then all of a sudden, talent takes over once the guy gets the ball in there. We need a guy who's talented enough to say we don't have to run a play, just go make a play. So if you're Indiana, there is no one right now. Those guys are great guys who can run plays, and they make great decisions when running a play. But in the last minute 15 of a basketball game in the NBA, college is different, but in the NBA, the last minute 15 is about making plays, not running plays.
Because if you have to look at it, they had a 2-point lead in the ball, but
that's when Horford came up with the block.
Yes, but I didn't like that shot. It was kind of like, it wasn't a powerful move. It was kind of like a runaway layup instead of getting something going to the basket. He wasn't being aggressive because he's never had to make a play where they says, hey, we're up 2, seal this thing, be our closer.
How many times when we were doing, because we do college basketball, how many times at the end of the game we go, man, that was a great play drawn up. At the end of the game, we go, wow, that's great. And in the NBA, you go, man, that was a great shot. We don't really look at the dissecting most of the time of the actual play. And that's the difference. And it's going to be – now, if you're up 8, 9 points and by running your offense –
there's no pressure.
Then there's no pressure in that. Yeah. But when it comes down to this situation, these situations, Boston will always have the advantage because not only Kyrie, they can throw it to Tatum as well, and he can make a play.
Game 3 in the series as it shifts to the field house in Indianapolis will be Friday, and then Game 4
and Ernie, let me make
will be Sunday. Make a point. Go ahead.
Now, those guys going to play better at home.
Sure.
Because the guys who are not used to being stars or getting the baskets, they do play better at home. Yeah. So you can be encouraged if you're Indiana in that scenario.
As we head to break, the AT&T dunk of the night. And it belongs to a guy who's done this a few times.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Greek Freak?
Bully ball.
Oh, my goodness. The camera didn't even know he was
bully ball.
They had the camera on the low.